Hi guys, welcome to another beer review and a weird lighting situation as the sun slowly sets. And yeah, in the garden again, absolutely gorgeous day, even though it was a little bit too warm for my liking personally. But yeah, it's early evening, laid back vibes, noisy children outside. But yeah, so I thought I'd shoot a beer review. And this is one that I'm really excited to do, and because it's from one of my favourite breweries and two of the most fantastic people I've met within the industry. And yeah, it's always a pleasure when I get to meet up with them. And of course, I'm talking about Christina and Andreas from Pirate Brew Berlin. Unfortunately, my Pirate Brew t-shirt is dirty because I got potato salad all over it with a sriracha sauce, and I don't want to look like an even bigger, scruffier bastard than I usually am. So, but I do have stickers though, which is, you know, every cloud and that. But yeah, brought them out so I could do a pretentious thumbnail for the video on the grass while the sun's still out. But yeah, Pirate Brew Berlin, one of my favourite breweries in Germany, and one, the whole ethos sort of quite excites me. And I've covered a few of their beers on the channel. Probably the most notable beer for me is the porter that they do, the Pirate Porter, and the various directions that they take it in. You know, doing the chili one with crazy bastard sauce, and then they did the absolutely phenomenal coffee one with Brewbox Berlin. And the base porter is up there with the best of them for me. And of course, they've done some weird and wacky brews in collaboration, and this is another collaboration beer. And this time they've teamed up, well, once again with Sebastian from Freigeist Bierkultur. Again, another person whose like ethos and look on brewing excites me greatly. One of the most intriguing experimental brewers that I've come across, and a damn nice guy as well. Got to talk to him this year at the Craft Beer Festival in Regensburg, as well as of course Andreas and Christina, who have convinced me that I need to make a beer documentary, and I will be visiting Berlin one day. So I'm going to bring my DSLR. We're going to get some pretentious, soft focus close-ups, and yeah, Berlin, that's like a mecca for me. I need to make that pilgrimage, and hopefully this year I'm going to try and get that organised. But yeah, the stuff that's happening in Germany as a whole, but Berlin specifically, is just absolutely mind-boggling. And I think I've said this in pretty much every German craft beer review since I've come back. It's such a shame that we here in the UK don't really have too much access to German craft beer. But that being said, to get over to Germany is a really cheap, you know, the flights are cheap. The accommodation is probably what you're going to be spending most of your money on. But yeah, it's an untapped resource for British craft beer fans. And you know, I spent 4 absolutely amazing years in Germany. I was back there for the Craft Beer Festival, and it's in such a short amount of time, it's just blossoming into one of the most exciting craft beer brewing cultures. I mean, Germany, yeah, the best beer culture and beer history in the world for me personally, anyway. But yeah, I could waffle on about people and the wonderful breweries and brewers who I've met on this weird and wonderful journey. But yeah, this is a collaboration with Sebastian, as well as Orca Brau, who I only got to try a couple of his beers when I was in Germany. But I've always loved the branding that Orca Brau has of like the photographs and very simple text on a white label. And yes, so they all came together and did a beer called Room 237, and it's a tomato beer, clocking in at 6.6%. Best before date is the 14th of June 2019. Ingredients are water, barley malt, tomatoes, hops, black cambot pepper, salt and yeast. And this was brewed at 4-man Brau, which is, I think, one of the main places Freigeist, or Sebastian I should say, brews his beers. But yeah, obviously reference to the fantastic The Shining, both the book by Stephen King and the wonderful film adaptation by Stanley Kubrick. And yeah, just absolutely fantastic artwork on this one. And yeah, the other one was the Room 101 that I had, which was like it was like a cocktail beer, and there was like eucalyptus in there. It had big hits of menthol. It was like medicinal, but weird at the same time. And yeah, I just love the experimental nature of a lot of brewers in general. And yeah, it's good to see that they've carried on with this little series. So I did try this actually at the festival, and I really enjoyed it. I can't remember too much about it because I did drink a fair bit, and of course both Andreas and Christina just so generous and crazy as fuck, but in the best way possible, because nobody fucks with pirates. And yeah, fantastic artwork on the crown from Freigeist Bierkultur. I still need to get that on a t-shirt. I really, really do. I love that logo. Anyway, I've waffled on for way too long, so let's get this beer opened and see what we get. So of course using my Regensburg craft beer glass, or craft beer festival glass I should say. And look at that. It's looking great already. Look at that cascading in there. But yeah, my videos always seem to look better when I'm outside. It's just, you're literally resting on a fence, so it's a little bit of an awkward angle. Plus you're right by a road, so there might be a little bit of noise. But anyway, beer in a glass then, and that is a lovely sort of, reminds me of cranberry juice almost. It's got that sort of like watered down tomato juice look to it. And you know, brewing with tomatoes must be really quite hard, just for how full of water they are. But yeah, it's a lovely bold beer. It's cloudy as well, which is really nice. And a beer poured with, let me just generate some head. That's what she said. No need to make jokes like that. It's sort of like a lovely, like double cream look to it. It's not completely white, but it's not really brown. Beautiful description there. Apologies guys for my sort of, because I'm like almost like, why am I doing this beer review here? People can literally hear me on the other side of the fence talking to myself. So fuck it, why be self-conscious? It's a beer. So I've got my hands full, so let me put that up there for now. And let's put this in my pocket. Hopefully I don't stab myself with the corkscrew. But yeah, looks fantastic, so let's see what we get on the nose. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a really hearty tomato soup, almost. The biggest thing I'm getting is that salt and pepper aspect. There's this lovely, like, roasty sweetness coming from the tomato. It's a little bit of a sherbety character in there. It's not really fruity, but it's like tomato juice in a glass, but like slightly roasted. You know, when you've like put them in the oven and they've caught a little bit on the skin, and then you've like blended them down and made a really hearty, like autumnal soup. It's got these lovely, like comforting, savoury tones. It smells really, really damn good. So let's give it a taste. Prost. And my favourite aspect of this beer, why do kids just shout for no reason? Why are you doing that, children? But probably the favourite aspect for me of this beer is that peppery spiciness. That subtle hint of salt in there as well, which just it doesn't like add a salty flavour. It just sort of emphasises the seasoning, if that makes sense. But you're getting that tomato in there. It's not too bold, it's not too brash, it's not too out of place. But at the same time, it's not like, oh, I get a little bit of tomato. You're actually getting tomato. And the flavours also remind me of a tomato soup. But it's a little bit more drinkable than, well, mind you, you can chug tomato soup if it's tasty, but you know what I mean? You're getting that like biscuity, bready malt character in there, which almost reminds of like black pepper crackers, if that's an actual thing. But yeah, it's spicy on the tongue, and it's really damn nice. Lovely upper end of medium body to it. But you're thinking, oh, but it's like tomatoes. You're saying tomato soup. Like, how can tomato soup be refreshing? It bloody well is. It's so crisp, it's clean. That pepperiness lingers on the tongue. It's really noticeable and really damn nice. So you want to go in for another sip. This was in the fridge. It's been out for about half an hour, so it's not completely chilled down because I didn't want to lose that tomato flavour. But yeah, it's a unique tasting beer without being too outrageous or left field or bombastic. It's like really honed in. So it's not, this is too much for me. You get what you want in there in just the right amounts, and the balance is absolutely perfect. Is it a beer that I could drink a lot of in one sitting? Probably not. I think that residual pepperiness could get a little bit sickly or a bit too much after a while. Yeah, almost to, I mean, it's affecting my tongue now. So if I was to continue drinking this, it wouldn't numb my tongue. You know, it's not that crazy, but you'd feel it even more. But yeah, this would be a perfect beer to have with like bread and cheese. You know, just a simple like strong mature cheddar, a nice dark rye bread or a sourdough, and then you've got this lovely tomatoey, roasty, savoury, salty, peppery beer. But it works as a refreshing beer as well. Although not completely my personal cup of tea, I can't really fault this beer too much, because as an intriguing distraction, I think it works beautifully. It's something a little bit fun. It get those creative juices going. It's bringing three really exciting breweries together from Germany, and they've come up with something that stands out from a lot of other beers. You're not going to drink too many beers that taste like this. I'm sure there've been tomato beers. I mean, the American like Clamato, which is a style that I really want to try. I really want to try some of these like American macro, like tomato and clam juice beers, because it just sounds intriguing to me. But this has a really nice, simple base beer to it. And I don't think it's a lager. I'm not sure what style I would say this is with tomatoes added, without saying, oh, it's one of those, it's a fruit slash vegetable, herb slash spice beer. What does that even mean? You're not describing a beer when you label a beer like that, so stop it, Untapped. Stop it, Rate Beer. Stop it, Beer Advocate. Give me what the actual style is. But this time, I'm not too sure what the style beer would be, because it's a little bit more bold, bolder than a lager. It's not really hoppy. Those hops work really nicely with the tomato and the pepperiness. That pepperiness mixes really nice with this subtle bitterness from the hops. I mean, it's almost got like a goes like mentality to it. Yeah, it's an intriguing one for sure, and one that if you ever get the chance to try it, definitely do so. Yeah, it's nice to see these unconventional, exciting beers from unconventional, and exciting breweries, especially from a country like Germany where they've still got the purity laws in place. There's still that big heritage. There's a lot of pressure from like the old school drinkers. And yeah, to see brewers coming together and creating stuff like this is really, it soothes the soul and puts a smile on the face. And it also helps that the people involved in this are absolutely fucking awesome people. So to share their beers with them is a really big thing for me. And yeah, I very much look forward to spending some very boozy nights in Berlin with the Pirate Brew gang and maybe some other players in the Berlin beer game. And I'd love to document it. That'd be absolutely fantastic. We'll talk about that at the festival. It needs to happen, and hopefully it happens soon. So yeah, in terms of a rating then, I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. It's not really my thing, but it's a little bit of fun, but at the same time it's not a gimmick. It's an actually tasty, well-made beer. And all of those elements work beautifully together. And this is one that this could be like, this has the chance to be someone's like favourite beer of the year. Do you know what I mean? And once again, Pirate Brew Berlin, Freigeist Bierkultur, coming together and producing a really intriguing beer. Anyway, I've waffled on for way too long. I've got the burps now then, spicy burps as well. If you've tried this one, as always, let me know your thoughts and opinions. I'll put both my Pirate Brew and my Freigeist playlists down below. Check out, of course, Pirate Brew Berlin, check out Freigeist Bierkultur, and check out Orca Brau as well. Yeah, fantastic beer. And beautiful surroundings, so I can't complain too much. Anyway, thank you for spending your time listening to me waffle on incessantly about this beer. And hopefully you'll join me next time for another beer review. So thank you all for watching, and auf Wiedersehen. Cheers guys. Let's get rid of that low battery warning first. iPhones, gotta love them.